Hi everyone, I'm back. This is video 2 in our swing trading beginners course. Today I'm going to talk about the hardware and software that you need to succeed in swing trading, which is a lot different than day trading. Again, I want to point out that I'm the founder of Tradetobefree.com and InvestBefree.com. Okay, in the last video we talked about the plan to succeed. Well, what's the general process to become a successful swing trader? What you have to do is you have to learn the basics, and we talked about that. Candlestick charting, chart patterns, trend analysis, okay? But we also want to really focus on learning a couple really good strategies that we know are proven, okay? We want to start there, and we want to learn those setups, practice trade them, then move to a live account with a small position size for each trade, and then continue to review and learn and correct errors, and maybe even tweak the strategy a little bit, improve on it, and then we want to scale up and then make the big money over time with that strategy. Okay, so each strategy may be better for different market conditions. Okay, you might be in a market where bull flag patterns, for instance, which are very strong momentum patterns where the stock is moving very quickly over a number of days and weeks. In some market conditions, those work very well. Other conditions, shorting will work well. Very good short strategies will work well, along with maybe some rounding bottom patterns or maybe small double bottom patterns on shorter time frames. Okay, but we want to pick two strategies that aren't too closely related, but both can do very well, especially in certain market conditions. Okay, and then we want to learn those setups and perfect them to start making money consistently with each one. Okay, we also talked about what you need to learn to be successful. We said that's very important to use sound risk management, learn what that is, and use it. We want to learn technical analysis and candlestick charting. And we said that great swing traders have a strong knowledge of top chart patterns. Okay, you also have to know trend analysis. Support and resistance are very key. And I would argue that fundamental analysis in key areas is very important as well because it can give you a slight edge over those traders that don't use it. Okay, so the equipment and software that's needed for swing trading. All right, now what do we need to do? Do we have to get multiple monitors, a new PC, a very expensive broker and all that? And the short answer for swing trading is no, we don't. Day trading often requires the best software and online broker, but with swing trading, you can achieve success more quickly and with more common discount brokers like an E-Trade, Fidelity, or even Robinhood. Again, it's different than with day trading where you'll need a much better, faster broker because you need to get in and out so fast, and because the margin of error is so small and the gains generally are so small that we have to make sure that we get really good fills, and we have the hotkey set up on the brokerage platform, and we have multiple monitors so we can see multiple setups at once and pick the one that looks the best to us. So all that's required for day trading, but for swing trading, we don't have to do that. Okay, we can go with just one monitor. We can use a basic PC, maybe a decent gaming machine will be best, but whatever system you have now is fine. In fact, you can even use the Robinhood broker, which doesn't charge commissions currently, and a smartphone, okay, along with some free stock charts like on stockcharts.com. You could start there and trade on a simulator or paper trade and learn from that point. And that really is all you need for swing trading with the techniques that we use. Okay, and like I said, we want the candlestick charts. Now, Robinhood, and a lot of online brokers don't have the best charts, the greatest charts in the world. And so I prefer stockcharts.com, but you definitely want to check out your own brokerage platform and check to see if they have good charts that you can read and see very clearly. And most of them are pretty good, so you want to take a look at that as well, because without paying stockcharts.com, you don't get that real-time data as you would with your online broker. Okay, and like I said, you can check out the videos. Okay, software and broker that we use. Now, currently we use Fidelity, which is really good for larger accounts. They have a proprietary order routing system that works really well for swing trading. I wouldn't suggest using it necessarily for day trading, but for swing trading, it works great. Interactive Brokers charge as little as $1 per trade, and they do have some better charting along with other good information, so you may want to consider them as well. Stockcharts.com, again, for charting is really, really good. It's our favorite that we use all the time. They do have a package where you can pay $14.95 per month as I record this for real-time charting, so you can actually take a step up from that free version right away if you choose to get that real-time information. I think without that, there might be a 5-minute or 15-minute delay. Okay, but again, with your online broker, you won't have that delay. But those delays won't matter that much when you're swing trading, buying and holding for multiple days. But it will come into play if you want to pinpoint your entries and get a more up-to-date price. You can also do that, if you have CNBC, their app installed on your iPhone or your smartphone that you use. Also, Yahoo has that real-time information to give you up-to-minute quote for your stock that you hold if you want to check on it and get that real-time information. Okay, so you can use that in conjunction with the free Robinhood broker. In fact, if you open up an account with, say, a Fidelity or a Schwab or another online broker, you may want to see if they give you real-time alerts to the price of your stock. So if you're at work or if you're somewhere and you want to be notified if the price goes above a certain point or below a certain point, if you have the other online broker set up and established, let's say with a mutual fund for your retirement account, which should be kept separate from your trading account. But if you have retirement accounts or other accounts, which you should have and should be putting money towards, while you put money towards your trading account to build that up, if you have that established with your broker, they'll oftentimes have the messaging, and you can just message your phone because Robinhood doesn't have that alert system. I don't believe, at least at last check, they don't have an alert system to tell you when the price has gone above or below a certain point. Okay, so I'm going to get into when you need those alerts, when you don't, later in this course, and generally you won't really need those anyways. Okay, and you also don't need to spend thousands on seminars. There's a lot of people out there that spend thousands and go to these seminars. They're free initially, but once you get there, they get you to spend all kind of money on very expensive data and software, and they'll tell you that you need it when you don't. Okay, so that's one thing you don't need, and you don't need to go out and spend hundreds of thousands on specialized computers, multiple monitors, high-end chat rooms, and expensive trading. That cost thousands. You don't need that either. Okay, and you do not require weeks to learn how to use your software lightning fast with swing trading. Okay, at least with our style of swing trading, you don't have to do that. And with I think most other swing trading strategies, you don't have to have that lightning fast hotkeys and direct market execution with your trades and so forth. With our trading, that Fidelity proprietary order routing system gets us in and out at good prices in most cases. Of course, not all. If you have a lot of selling pressure or buying pressure near the open or close, or at a certain point, there may be times where it doesn't give you a good price or good fill once in a while, but overall it's better than the rest. And that's what we found in our own trading. But really, Robinhood is fine. Other online brokers are fine as well to do swing trading. Okay, so that about wraps it up. So you want to pick an online broker of your preference. Okay, and again, you want maybe have one open already with a Schwab or Ameritrade or E-Trade or Interactive Brokers that can message you. That's great to have. So if you have, your retirement account with one of those brokers, and they also give you the messaging that can come into play and help later on, especially when you get into the shorter-term swing trading strategies that I'll touch upon, later in this course. And really, the bottom line is with swing trading, you don't have to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars in seminars, education, and equipment. You don't need to do that. So in this course, you'll learn a couple good strategies you can start with where you can start making money, starting on a simulator or paper trading first, of course, but then later transition to a live account and do better than nearly all of those other options that you'll see out there. Okay, so you don't need to go out and do that, and you really shouldn't if you're getting your feet wet and you're starting to learn swing trading or even day trading. You just want to make sure you take advantage of the fact that you can trade and practice without using real money. Okay, and it's one of the few businesses where you can do that. So definitely take advantage of that and realize that you don't have to go all in, spending thousands on all the equipment and software and services. You don't really need that. So we have a very low cost service on our site. We have a weekly service where we give you the top 2 swing trading setups each week that we're looking at that are excellent, that have not only the technical characteristics of a really good trading setup, but also good fundamental characteristics where they're beating estimates with rising future expectations, or they have very strong growth in sales and earnings for a number of years. These are 2 types of stocks that you want to focus on good swing trading setups, continuation patterns especially, and that I'll be talking about more later in this course. So if you can go to our site and sign up for that 3-week trial. There's no credit card required as I record this. We also have a book on there. It's very affordable. And also some more very specific trading strategies that we sell on the site that are very economical as well. So you want to definitely check that out. And those will definitely work a lot better than the price tag would suggest compared to the very expensive seminars and other trading courses that are available online. So definitely check those out. I'll have another video coming up. Okay, I want to talk about candlestick charting. It's very important, and also risk management, which is probably the number one thing you need to understand and learn before you start. And that'll be, I believe, in the next video. Go ahead and like the video down below if you haven't yet. And again, check out our site if you like, and I will see you in the next video.